Hello and welcome to Paul at Home. My name is Paul and I'm at home. Today I've got one of my fun characters with me who you might have seen before, but I wonder who you think it is today. Today I'd like you to meet Kato. Kato? You're looking a little bit worried. You're not a little bit worried, okay? You're really, really worried. Wow. So what is it that's got you so worried? You're worried about the boat. What boat? The boat that everybody is in. Okay. You've never even seen this boat. You've never even been in a boat. You're really worried about the boat. You're worried that everybody's going to find it. What do you mean you're worried that everybody's going to find it? If everybody's going to be in the boat, yes, it's going to have to be a really big boat. Well, yeah, it will have to be a big boat if everybody's going to be in it. But you don't know where it is. You haven't seen it. Maybe it's hiding somewhere. Hold on, let me ask you a question. What boat are you talking about? The boat that everybody is in. But I don't think everybody's in an actual real boat. No, they're not. It's the boat that helps them get away from the storm. No. I think you've got confused with a little phrase that explains what people are thinking and how people are feeling. So with the virus that's happening in the world at the moment, some people are saying everybody's in the same boat. But what about the storm? Yeah, well, the thing is, everybody's not in the same boat. Everybody's not in the same situation. But the storm of the virus and the problem, we are in that. I can explain that to you a little bit later, Kato. But right now, I've got an event that happened in the Bible about a boat and a storm. You would really like to listen to that. That's great. And then you'd like to come back later. All right then, Kato, it'd be great. We'll see you later. The disciples, Jesus' disciples, knew the problem of sudden storms on the Sea of Galilee. But when Jesus said, let's jump in the boats and head across to the other side, it was like they had no hesitation, no problem at all. They had full faith because they knew that Jesus was with them. They set sail across the Sea of Galilee. But it was not long before a storm began to blow. The wind started, light at first, but then getting stronger and stronger. The disciples, who were fishermen, were not surprised by this at all. In fact, they were full of confidence. But the storm was not holding back. The wind picked up the waves. The waves were beginning to rock the boat around, and the storm got even stronger and stronger. Wind was blowing like they'd never felt it before. Waves were starting to arc over the boat. The boat was starting to fill up with water. What had they been doing? Why had it taken so long? And I guess all their attention had been focused on the storm. The storm looked bigger and bigger and stronger and wilder because it had all their attention. Because that's what they were looking at. That's what they were focusing on. And the problem of the storm just got bigger and bigger. And that's when they turned and looked and saw Jesus asleep. Sleeping in the middle of the storm. And in the book of Mark, the author also says that Jesus had his head on a pillow. The disciples ran over, woke Jesus up and said, Jesus, don't you care? Well, of course Jesus cared. He cares then and he cares now. He understood the disciples as well. He understood their worries. And so he stood up. He spoke to the wind and said, be quiet. He spoke to the waves and said, be still. And you know what? It stopped. Jesus looked at his disciples and said, why are you frightened? Have you still no faith? I guess the disciples learnt quite a lesson that day. In fact, they looked at Jesus and they said, "Who is this man that even the wind and the waves obey his words?" They had problems and they had worries, but I guess their lesson was Jesus was standing with them in the middle of that storm, in the middle of the problems. I've got a quick question for everybody to think about today. The disciples asked each other, "Who is this man that even the wind and the waves obey him?" How about that question for us? Who is Jesus to you? Have a chat with someone today, see what they think. But right now, I'm going to have a chat with Kato and see what he thinks. Right then, Kato, it's great to have you back with us. You're not worried about the boat anymore. No, I quite agree. So what did you think of the disciples and Jesus in the boat and in the storm? You think it's absolutely amazing. We shouldn't look too much at things that worry us, because that's when the worry gets bigger and bigger. Yeah, I completely agree. You think we should look at Jesus, yes? And all the amazing things he can do. Well, you know, Kato, I think you are absolutely right. There are all sorts of problems around us and problems in the world. But worry is when we make the problem bigger than the answer. Like the boat you were worried about earlier on. Yep, exactly. Now, I believe there always is an answer. It might need looking for and really looking for. And I also believe as a Christian that Jesus is the answer to many of life problems. And just like the disciples, we can ask Jesus to be with us in all of those problems. I hope you're able to find the answers to the problems that you're maybe having today. And I hope your worries get smaller and smaller and smaller. It's been really great to share some time with you today, hasn't it, Kato? You're looking forward to the next video. So am I. See you next time. Bye.